Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, Cubao to Makati in just 5 minutes.
You just wait. Cubao and Makati is just about 5 minutes.
Not an impossible dream, says the president.
Physically impossible. To do it in 5 minutes means traveling non-stop for 120 kilometers an hour.
And the MMDA is ready to implement drastic measures to make it happen.
Kay Duterte ba? Siyempre, maniniwala ako mangyayari sa panahon na yun.
Hindi mangyari yun, sir. Nasubukan ko na paglaban ni Pacquiao, walang traffic, di ba? 15 minutes mula dito hanggang Makati.
Also, another petition to stop the provincial bus ban.
Ang tanong nga namin sa petisyong ito, why the rush? Bakit nyo minamadali? May mga negosyante ba dito? May mga concessionaires ba dito sa terminal?
And an appeal for hazard pay for traffic enforcers. MMDA Traffic Chief Bong Nebrija joins us live. Thank you for joining us. Sitting in for Pinky Webb, I'm Ruth Cabal. President Rodrigo Duterte is hopeful that travel time from Cubao to Makati can be done in 5 minutes. Another promise in easing Metro Manila traffic. The president, however, did not go into details, but the MMDA believes this can be done. Also, will the MMDA push through with its plan to ban provincial bus in EDSA amid major opposition on the proposal and the traffic enforcers' appeal for hazard pay? Let's go straight to the source of the story, Metro Manila Development Authority Traffic Chief Bong Nebrija. Good morning, Bong.
Good morning, Ruth, and happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day to you too. Okay, usap-usapan. 5 minutes from Cubao in Quezon City to Makati. Is this even possible? Anong initial reaction nyo when the president said that?
Well, the moment I heard about it, I called traffic engineering and I asked for measurements. What's the distance between Cubao and Makati, and with the 60 kph, how long will it take? Basically, the pronouncement itself is mathematically impossible. Kahit saan natin tingnan. But then again, as I was saying, the pronouncement on time and the date that it should be accomplished is more of a pronouncement of hope than anything else. No? Na once and for all, yung traffic problems natin sa Metro Manila, bibigyan pansin na. Hindi lang ng local, but national level na. Presidente na po nagsalita.
So when you say it's a pronouncement of hope, you're not taking the president literally, is that it?
Not really. But then again, ang sinasabi ko nga, before we were shooting in the dark, but now the president has pronounced 5 minutes by December 2019, so at least we have a target paper in sight. So hitting it is great, but missing it a couple of minutes or so would be great also for the community.
Anong pinakamabilis? Tingin mo, kakayanin?
I think realistically 15. 15
Ay, sinabi
minutes.
nung in-interview kanina, di ba?
Yes, 15 minutes we could do it. But then again, sabi ko nga, we will try our best to achieve the numbers that were set by the president. And now it's not only on the shoulders of MMDA, but all the traffic and transport management agencies of the government will be pooling its resources to address this.
And how can you do that?
Initially, we've been doing a lot of, we're coming up with a lot of policies, the Metro Manila Council. And unfortunately, many of our drastic or radical policies has been hold or delayed, or because of, the HOE for one was held back by a Senate resolution. And now the provincial bus ban, we have already 3 petitions in the Supreme Court and 1 injunction at Quezon City RTC. So, but then again, there's still no resolution on all of this. So that's why we are proceeding as planned with the provincial bus ban. And we have came up with so many policies for city buses also. Not really achieving or any time goal in time. I mean.
Isa-isahin natin yung mga schemes nyo later on. Pero balikan lang natin itong sinabi ni Presidente about yung 5 minutes from Quezon City to Makati. Kasi he's saying he got it from China. Can we listen to what the President said para balikan muna natin?
You just wait. Ayaw ko but things will improve. Maybe, God willing, December, smooth sailing na. You don't have to worry about traffic. Cubao and Makati is just about 5 minutes. Ano?
So, nung narinig mo yan, nagulat ka ba? Is there an effort on the part of MMDA to reach out to the president to ask him exactly what he means?
Well, this came as a shock to all of us, because we've been doing a lot of planning on how to ease traffic. But then again, the 5 minutes was really, there was no target that was set actually for us. But the 5 minutes, any pronouncement of the president becomes a directive for all of us.
Yes,
so,
of course.
So that came as a shock. Kaya we were on our toes this weekend up to this day. We met yesterday with the task force Cubao Makati so that we could reset our targets. Kasi we initially planned of 30 minutes Cubao Makati. So that is reasonable. That is also achievable. But then again, we will be missing the target of the president by 25 minutes. So we're trying to reset that target to at least come close to 5 minutes.
How many kilometers are we talking about? Baka naman boundary to boundary lang to, baka naman Guadalupe part ng Makati lang, or...
That's right, Ruth. Actually, nung pre-announce to, we were looking for a point of reference.
Yeah.
Saan ba yung Cubao and Makati, na sinabi ng Pangulo? Pag titignan natin dulo-dulo, just like what Task Force Cubao Makati is eyeing and managing right now, that would be from Kamuning up to Chino Roses in Makati.
Okay.
That would be around 12.8 kilometers, almost 13 kilometers. But then again, ang point of reference naman ng MMDA when we talk about Cubao and Makati, that's Aurora Boulevard up to Ayala Avenue. But
So ilang kilometers ang
that's
Aurora to
almost 10
Ayala?
kilometers.
Okay.
Ang ano naman, sabi nga namin, to make it mathematically possible for the pronouncement of the President, Cubao to Makati, we are looking at the end of Cubao and the beginning of Makati. If we're talking about
Parang Pitwason.
southbound.
So when
Actually,
end of
ma'am,
Cubao is
yes,
what?
Main Avenue up to Guadalupe. So that's around mga 5.5 kilometers. So mathematically possible at 60 kilometers per hour,
5.5
less than 6 minutes.
So is that what you're targeting now?
No, actually, we're still managing Kamuning up to Chino Roses.
Which is 12.8.
Yes, 12.8. And we're targeting at least mga 15 minutes.
Members of the task force, anong make-up nito? And then, anong initially ginagawa nyo na ngayon?
This was created by DOTR to specifically address the choke points on EDSA. So,
So matagal na to, hindi lang to.
even before the pronouncement of the
Okay.
president, I think we started, meeting sometime in May. We deployed a week after, I think first week or second week of June. So may kita na po natin yung mga HPG, Coast Guard, DOTR teams, LTFRB, LTO. Nandiyan po sa EDSA yan from Kamuning up to Chino Roses.
So, again, anong target nyo? Target date, target kilometers, target time?
So before 30 minutes, wala kaming target date. So sabi namin, we will manage this to make it a 30-minute travel from Cubao to Makati. But with the pronouncement of the President, yun nga, sinabi nga, we reset our targets na coming close to 5 by December 2019.
Pero yung ibang, like yung mga ibang infrastructure projects, kasi hindi rin naman aabot yun by year-end, no? How can this help? Like, anong nakikita nyong pwedeng
There are
makatulong?
two that we are expecting to be completed before the year ends, which is the Skyway 3. In-expect na namin dyan mga 20 to 30% ang mababawas sa EDSA. Then yung C5 extension that will go to Las Piñas area from C5, isa rin yun, makakabawas, give and take mga 10 to 20%. Yung mga tumutuloy dyan, hindi na mag-e-EDSA kundi magsi-C5 na. Policies-wise, wala, naka-pending po lahat ng mga policies na
So,
ginagawa.
yung infrastructure na sinasabi mo, yung dalawa, yung Skyway and then the C5,
C5 extension.
C5 extension, we're looking at how many cars? 400 ba? Anong ng cars ng
we're
EDSA
talking
ngayon?
about,
Anong mababawas?
well, right now, nasa 388 kami, if I'm not mistaken, 388.
88,000 cars.
Yes, ang volume na
On
dumadaan
EDSA,
dyan.
no?
Yes. So, 20% is around mga 60,000. Then another 20% dun sa so we're looking at almost 100, 80,000 vehicles ang aalis natin sa EDSA.
And then we're expecting those to be finished before the year ends.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then aside from that, yun na nga, pag-usapan natin yung mga policies naman, the very controversial bus
Yes.
ban. Yun na nga, several petitions against it. Asa na, which stage siya ngayon?
Stage ngayon, basically, we're just waiting for the fare matrix and the special permits for the extension of routes ng mga city buses na sasalo ng mga kababayan natin sa Santa Rosa at sa Valenzuela. So these are the things that will be, that are tasked to LTFRB to come out with. So we're just waiting. We do not want to pressure our fellow traffic and transport management team sa LTFRB. So they're doing it right now. We're just waiting for the final guidelines also.
Okay, we'll talk more about yung provincial bus ban. When we return, we'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, MMDA Traffic Chief Bong Nebrija. Bong, balikan lang natin itong bus ban. So sa ngayon, you can implement it. Wala pa namang TRO from...
Yes.
Okay.
There's no resolution stopping us from doing it right now. So we are proceeding as planned. Just that the ball is not in our hands right now. It's with LTFRB and the OTR. We're waiting for the guidelines. Then after these guidelines will be handed down to us, we will be collating this and we'll be submitting to the mayors concerned, who will be closing down the terminals. So once we get it, we'll submit it to the mayors, then the mayors will be the one to decide when to close it, if they will close it. Because again, if this will go beyond June 30, then we have new mayors in Quezon City and Pasay. Of course, as a courtesy, we will be briefing them on what we've done, on how we came out with this policy.
So it's possible na the mayors can also vote against it. The council can, kasi nga bago na.
Actually, the council, once you have passed a resolution until rescinded or amended, it's still
enforceable.
Right? So, but then again, the closing itself will be on the hands of the mayor.
If ever hindi umabot.
So ngayon, there's also a due process that they do in closing down these businesses. Hindi lang basta-basta, porket sinabi ng MMC na i-revoke mo. No, there's first notice, second notice, and third notice.
But my question is it even possible to vote against it with the composition of the new council?
It could be, but we're getting signals that they will go for it.
Okay. Kahit bago na yung mga bagong pasok na mayor.
Yes.
Okay. So, ang sinasabi kasi, di ba, sabi niyo, explain niyo sa bagong mayor, pero yung criticism is hindi daw pinag-aralan, bakit daw ganon, hindi daw nag-isip ng iba pang schemes. And in one of the Senate congressional hearings, sinabi na kasi ilang % lang ba ang mga bus? Bakit daw parang pinupuntirya yung bus, kukunti lang naman yung mga bus heads?
5%.
Okay.
But then again, based on our volume count and simulation, we could decrease the travel speed, increase the travel speed by 14% and decrease the travel time by 26%. 6
Dahil,
minutes.
how will that happen?
If you pull them out,
Okay.
una-una mababawasan ang volume and the traffic generators that they create because of these terminals, no? The terminals, as we've been telling, in our defense of this policy, that the terminals are the traffic generators because the terminals become the terminals of taxis, the TNBS, the parking lots of people who will be dropping off and picking up their relatives or loved ones. And it totally blocks the flow of pedestrian traffic in that area. So, yun po yung sinasabi namin in defense of this policy. But then again, sabi nga nila, we'll go back to volume count. Ang sasabihin nila, 5% lang ang provincial buses. Bakit namin pinag-initan? No, it's not that. We're just correcting the system. Ang sinasabi nila, pinapahirapan namin yung mga commuters.
Anti-poor pa nga
Anti-poor
daw.
kami. No? But then again, if you come to think of it, we're just adjusting their drop-off point. Pag bumaba yan sa terminal, makikita nyo po yung mga pasahero niyan, yung mga galing probinsya, nakapila sa EDSA. Nag-aantay ng masasakyan, magta-taxi. Ayaw silang isakay na taxi dahil ang daming kargada. So, then all of this creates the choke points on EDSA. Yun nga.
Hindi ba kung sa labas din yung terminal, ganun din, kukuha rin sila ng taxi, so dadagdag din yung taxi sa EDSA?
Yes, ma'am, but we're trying to put them in the right place. EDSA is not the right place for this kasi nga, over volume na tayo, ang dami nang dumadaan po dyan, then dinadagdag pa natin yung pedestrian traffic dun mismo, no? And I've shown this in my video during Exodus time ng mga pasahero na nagsisiuwian during Holy Week, ano? Eh makikita niyo po talaga walang sistema. Eh nakakaawa. Eh sabi ko nga, if you are for commuter safety, protection, and convenience, you should be on board this policy dahil this is the system that we see na makakapagbigay ginhawa sa ating mga pasahero.
So you think it's not anti-poor?
No, it's not
It
anti-poor.
will even be for the convenience
There
of...
was comments and exaggerations about this na madodoble yung pamasahe, no? We haven't came out with the fare matrix yet. Actually, with our dialogues with stakeholders sa mga city bus operators, we're asking them na kung pwede, just cover the difference. Kasi po mababawasan pamasahe mo from the province to Santa Rosa. Makakat eh. So your fare from the province will be cut. So, sabi nga namin, kung ang yung provincial bus is going to Cubao, 1,000 pesos, now they will just be 900, for example, because Santa Rosa na lang sila. Ang we're asking the provincial buses and the city bus operators to please cover up the difference. 100 na lang from Santa Rosa to Cubao. Para sa ganun, kung ano yung binabayad nila before, ganun pa rin ang ibabayad nila ngayon.
So will they be amenable to that? I
Well,
mean, it's pera pa rin yun, sir.
Yes.
Oo.
Well, so far they agreed up to Alabang. But that's why we're still waiting for the guidelines of LTFRB because they are still continuing with the dialogues with the city bus operators para kung hindi man natin ma-break even, konti lang ang
Ang madadagdag, oo. Pero ang mababawas sa traffic naman is ilang percent sinasabi nyo based on your studies?
Well, 14% on travel speed increase and travel time of 26%.
26%. Okay. So mas mapapabilis and then mas mababawasan yung traffic. That's what you're talking about. Other measures that you're looking at to ease congestion in Metro Manila?
Well, with the new sets of Metro Manila Council come July, we will try to propose again the HOV, yung
okay.
ban on driver only, because we have the numbers to prove that this will help a lot. If we want volume reduction, this is it. Because 85% are private motor vehicles on EDSA. And with our count, we will be reducing 70% of this 85%. So we're looking at around 140,000 vehicles. No? That's almost half of what
Di
we
ba
have
yung
now.
mga criticism before discriminatory dun sa mga isang driver lang? Di ba yung may mga ganun sila? Tapos parang how will you even monitor that?
Yes, actually, that's also one reason why we postponed or we canceled it the first time kasi nga we haven't the LTO haven't came out with the guidelines on the tint regulation. I think they have it now. So that will help us a lot in enforcing this. And then again, they told us you did not have a public consultation, then we might be coming up with public consultations on this. And further study, then we are continuing with the study. So I think we will be able to comply with all the requirements by the Senate before. That's why they came out with the resolution because we did not have this.
So you will push for this one?
We will be proposing it. So
And you're hopeful this will pass with the new council?
if we really want to improve traffic on EDSA, this is one of the solutions that we're looking at that will greatly improve.
Ano yung number one na hinihingi sa inyo ng Senate before na?
Public consultation is
okay.
one, further study, and yun nga yung the enforcement side of it, because there's no tint regulations on our vehicles right now. And it's hard to see. We're missing out, I think, 20%.
Parang yung sinasabi nila dati, bawal na yung single sa EDSA eh. Parang hindi ba yun madidiscriminate nga kasi yung mga drivers. Ano bang pwedeng, anong alternative ang pwede niyong ibigay?
Well,
How
we
to
are not
resolve that for
discriminating
the...
on them. What we're telling them is that please do not use EDSA. There are alternate routes that we're trying to propose to them. You can use this. We're not asking you to ditch your car. We're asking you to take alternate routes. So we're giving EDSA to those who are high occupancy in nature na sasakyan.
And then aside from that, intensified, diba? So may mga intensified jaywalking, illegal parking.
Actually, infrastructure na yung iba,
Okay.
ma'am. We're trying to fence EDSA from Kamuning to Makati, to Chino Rosas. what I mean by that is that the pedestrian sidewalks will be fenced so that we could prevent those commuters who are just indiscriminately loading and unloading on EDSA. No? So this is one of the
Literal na maglalagay kayo
Lalagyan
ng fence. Okay.
Para we will funneling the commuters to the right bus stops.
Okay.
So hindi ka na pwedeng
Kung saan ka
mag-aabang sa
maglalakad,
kanto.
oo.
Because we're having a hard time in enforcing this. Pati yung closed door policy, talaga po ang problema natin, disiplina eh. The bus drivers, they know about the policy, but they keep on violating it.
Yeah.
No? So the pedestrians know where the loading and unloadings are, loading and unloading zones are, but still they wait in areas that are not supposed to be the loading and unloading zones.
Tanong ko lang ulit, yung sa jaywalkers, talaga bang may lalabas sa NBI yon? Tuloy pa rin ba yon? Anong
Yes.
policy doon? Oo.
Before, we tried this, but again, we were questioned on lack of police powers to do this. So now, what we did is we asked the local government, you have ordinances on jaywalking, can you deputize us? So with this deputation that was given to
Yeah.
us, now we could apprehend them, turn over them to the local government, and the local government, with their ordinance, it's a violation of a law. So if you will not pay for the violation, if you will not do or you will not do the cleanup, the community
report,
service that you're supposed to do, then they're forced to submit your violations to NBI, and NBI will basically, you will be on the alarm list. If you apply for an NBI clearance, you will not get it.
Lalabas doon na may,
Lalabas po doon, may
may
hit
violation
kayo.
ka. Oo.
So now, that's only a 500 peso violation, or you cannot, if you do not want to pay, you can do community service.
So ngayon lalabas siya. So ang
Lalabas
status
na yun.
ngayon ay lalabas siya.
Lalabas na yun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wala nang nag-challenge doon. Kasi
Ma'am,
local.
yes, local
dinaan
po,
niya na sa
ordinance
local.
na yun.
Oo.
So it's a law. Actually, I heard one story na meron po talagang inaresto, no? On a weekend pa.
Dahil meron siyang
May
warrant
violation siya kasi nga po, may warrant of arrest siya. Hindi siya
For jaywalking.
Jaywalking.
Oh, okay.
Opo.
We'll be taking a short break, and when we come back, how will the MMDA help in solving Baguio traffic? This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, MMDA Traffic Chief Bong Nebrija. Bong, balikan ko yung sinabi mo kanina na may arrest warrant.
Yes.
Paano proseso? Pwedeng mangyari yun talaga?
Because you are asked to settle your fine. And if you do not comply, kung hindi ka mahanap doon, they will be submitting your papers for not complying and not paying.
Pag ngayon, nag-jaywalking ka, di sinabihan ka, nag-jaywalking ka, dadaling ka ba, paano dadaling ka ba sa presinto?
Hindi,
Paano
no,
ginagawa?
bibigyan ka lang
Okay.
ng ticket.
Okay.
Bibigyan ka ng ticket and you are told to settle it. If you're not if you're
For a
capable,
certain number of days, you have to
Yes.
settle it. Bayad ka ng fine or
Fine.
community.
community service, kung di mo kaya talagang bayaran. But then again, if you will just totally disregard this, then the ticket remains with the local government. Makikita nila yan, you're not settling it. Then by the time na hindi ka uma-attend, they will summon you.
So may korte pa yun?
May korte
Dadaan pa yun sa korte?
They submit
Okay.
it to the fiscal. If they summon you and you do not attend these hearings, then automatically it will be against you. Then they will be submitting your names to NBI. Na
Anong
may
krimen
warrant.
doon? Jaywalking? Yun ang krimen?
Violation of,
Okay. Oo.
City ordinance. Marami po tayong city ordinance na anti-barking law ng mga local government pag hinuli ka niyan.
okay.
Pwede kang
So,
ipakulong.
will we see more intensified campaign against jaywalking now?
Yes. Once we get the deputation, because I think we haven't received deputation yet from other local governments.
So, ibig sabihin, pati kayo, pwede na kayong issue
Manghuli.
ng ticket?
Yes,
Yung,
mag-i-issue
kayo
naman kami.
or the local enforcers?
Once we are deputized, we will be using the LGU ticket on this, and so that they could use this to file a case against you.
Okay, briefly lang, tutulungan niyo daw ang Baguio City with their traffic problems.
Well, this is not the first time we've been helping other local governments in the provinces, particularly in coming up with their traffic plan. So alam naman po natin yung traffic sa Baguio, it's not getting any better. I usually go there every year during our alumni homecoming, and it's really becoming a problem. With now the newly elected Mayor Benji Magalong, who has been coordinating with us even before
Paano
the
kayo
election.
tutulong?
Well, coming up, we will be assessing. We will be recommending what engineering intervention that they could do. Yung mga traffic lights na yan, saan natin ilalagay yung loading and unloading, or ano yung mga road widening na pwede natin gawin. So,
Sabi sa online ni Jericho Tagala, before you help others solve the traffic here in Manila, hindi na nga maresolba sa NCR, bibida pa daw sa Baguio.
well, kasi
Sabi ni F. Mari Valenzuela from Facebook.
Well, Ruth, actually, we have the resources. Unfortunately, yung sa Manila, talagang over-volume tayo, and we cannot expand EDSA anymore. Kaya that's why we're coming up with volume reduction schemes to help ease the traffic. Alam niyo naman po, dito sa Metro Manila, we have population of 12.8 million, but we have a daytime population of 15 million. Hindi naman po natin nakikita sa ibang probinsya yan. So, ang sa amin lang, we have the resources to help other provinces. Hindi lang naman sa traffic management, pati sa disaster. Nagkaroon tayo ng earthquake sa Pampanga, nandun din ang MMDA. Nagkaroon tayo ng Yolanda sa Visayas, nandun din ang MMDA. So, we're just sharing our resources.
All right, thank you very much to MMDA Traffic Chief Bong Nebrija. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Ruth Cabal. You're watching CNN Philippines.